Hello and welcome to the next episode of The Inspiring Entrepreneur. In this series, we try to learn from entrepreneurs who've done something different. Today, we have a special guest with us, a paperless CA on an autopilot mode. You are wondering what it is, right? We have with us CA Ritesh Rathi. Welcome, Ritesh, to the show. Ritesh, from my sources, I got to know that आपका childhood बहुत interesting रहा. आपने बहुत जल्दी you started working at a very early age. Tell us something about it.
So I started my career-oriented activities right from around 9th or 10th standard, where I had done typing and shorthand. So as soon as I finished the typing and shorthand, my father is also a chartered accountant, so I am the second generation CA. So he started calling me to office, and that's where my things related to CA started. I started as a typist, you can say, but then slowly the first computer which came into my father's computer office. So that was like, 386 machine and the long dot matrix printers and all. So when I started as a typist, my things changed slowly towards technology also. I started inclination and passion towards technology. So I learned programming in office, I learned hardware, software, networking in office. I actually, the whole LAN topology and everything I have learned in hand practical experience. And I strongly believe that, that's where I started feeling that technology will be the next gen thing.
Wonderful. We also got to know that, Ritesh, that your father was running, I think, a computer training institute many years back, right? So what was that?
So he started, along with some of his friends, he started a training institute, and in that institute, even I was one of the professors. So I have also educated some kids, and that's how I was involved into the training center also.
Oh, interesting. It's also very interesting to know that CA Ritesh then was also into a business of supplying computers. Tell us about that, Ritesh.
Well, so technology is always my passion, and it turned into business also. So I was into technology, so IT business for approximately 3 years. This was somewhere between 2000 to 2003. So that's where I had built softwares and sold them. I even sold hardware, peripherals, networking, everything for these 3 years. It was again with some of my school friend,
Right.
but things did not work out well with him, and then we had to close it. So that's where I was involved into the IT industry.
Yeah. Also, I think your dad is a chartered accountant. You used to go to his office,
Yeah.
and I have heard a lot that other CAs would call you and speak to you.
So that's another chapter of my life. So I was very, very happy in those phases, because that time, though that age, I was not a chartered accountant. But other chartered accountants used to call me and ask me queries related to some of their clients' case or something. And I was so happy that even if I am not qualified, other qualified people were asking me how to get out of a particular situation, or what would be the best resolution for a client. Even with regards to technology also. So, chartered accountants from the vicinity, they used to call me and say, and make me talk to their engineers, saying that, "Arey, isko jara batana ki how does your system runs in your office?" So that was really a great phase of life.
So what was so different about you that other chartered accountants were speaking to you?
So since I said right now, right from 11th or 10th, somewhere I am into office, and I have used too much of technology into office. So I came to know when I grew up that these machines can work a lot for us. It is actually the other way which people think we work for machine. We should not work for a machine. So technology works a lot for us. So what I did was I started with small systems, macro level programming and all those sets, which made my life easier. So small macro which would automate one part of the system, another macro which would automate my another part of the system. Right. So this way I started, and I made my life much easier, and even my team's life much easier.
Right, wonderful, interesting. So Ritesh, now tell us, when did you think of going for professional course in chartered accountancy?
After graduation, as I said, I was into computer business, IT industry, and then when I quit from the IT industry, I actually first completed my law, then CISA, then I completed my CA. All the while, I was of course into the CA industry, but not as a CA, qualified chartered accountant. I was in my father's office only. So it's always, universal connect that. This legal, technological and the financial accounting auditing background, the convergence of all these qualities have made me what I am today.
So you studied law, you completed CISA, and then also you did your chartered accountancy. Now, why did you choose these different fields?
So all these fields, see, technology, I said right from initial stages, I knew that this is going to be the next gen. And in my field, to give a holistic approach to the client, there has to be legal knowledge also. Otherwise, you may not give the consultancy from all the angles to the client.
Okay.
So it was very important that if I complete my law, I know the legal angle also, whether whatever consultancy we are giving, is it practically applicable to that client or not, plus the technology part.
Oh, okay, wonderful. And, I think the audience is very curious to know, what is this paperless office about? So what is the story behind, what really happened that you thought of, having an office which does not have papers?
Okay, so as I said, my father was also a chartered accountant, and of course, he is definitely from a very different era. Initially, if you can imagine a chartered accountant's office, there used to be too many files, bundles of files or papers, documents of clients, and all the brown cupboards and everything. So when I joined and when I resumed and I started using technology, I came to know that all those documents in the files are already lying in the system.
Right.
And when the clients used to approach us, they used to just dump their bundle files or whatever documents they have to our office and said, "ये आप देख लेना, इसमें सब कुछ है." I am not their staff. This is not my team's job.
Right.
So then I understood that if I do not accept these papers, this will help us a lot, and in fact we will be much more organized also. So that's where I started feeling it's very much important that I should go for 100% paperless thing. And we converted the paperless to paperless office concept.
So I have visited CA Ritesh Rathi's office many times, and the entire office has no cupboards. I was surprised to know that there is no paper. So I asked him for a notepad, and he said, "Sorry, we don't have a notepad and pen in our office." So Ritesh, the audience would like to know, how did you convert an office which was full of papers, files and cupboards into an online office?
All right. So, see, of course, it took a span of around 1 or 1.5 years to convert all the physical documentation into the digital format.
Right.
As soon as one client came, we handed over their documents to them.
Right.
So this paperless concept also has one merit also, or in fact you can say demerit for the earlier generation of chartered accountants. So there was always a concept of, if a client wants to leave the office, he will always say, "मेरा file दे दो."
Right.
And then CA will say, "पहला पैसा दे दो."
Right.
Right? So that was a misconception. There is no need of that file to the client. So I always say, "Sir, whenever you want to leave, you are free to go. I will send you my details on email and you can pay off and you can leave." I don't have those files and anything. So this, if you are saying the initial hick of conversion, I think it took around 1.5 approximately years. And as soon as they used to come, we used to hand over their files to them.
Yeah, but how did you really convert all these offices into online documents? What kind of efforts went? How did you talk to your team?
So, no, that was very simple. Actually speaking, it's very simple also. So, annually income tax returns, everyone has to file. So, as soon as they used to come, we used to keep their documentation already digitally scanned and ready. The teams were already assigned to whatever client they were assigned, and they used to do the needful for scanning and keeping all the data in digital format.
So, how does really a paperless office, what are the benefits of a paperless office, especially for a profession like, a chartered accountancy?
It's a boon. Definitely it's a boon. So see, basically, if you are having paperless office nowadays, we after the COVID pandemic era, we hear a lot about everyone being saying that we are online and all those stuff. But if you ask most of them that whether you have any file, physical file in office or not,
Right.
they would definitely say yes, there is a file of some client.
Right.
I always think if there is a paper in some file in the office, how can you work from home or from anywhere else? That means you are present online, but for working 100%, you need to go to office.
Right.
Then you are not working online. So when we went online, we understood one more thing, that when you are working online, basically you are saying it's work from anywhere culture. That means we are not confined to four boundaries or walls of our office, and we are we are virtually present 24/7 that means in the client's office. What else the clients need? There are instances where clients also call at 11 or 12 in night also, of course, depending on the urgency, that something is required by them, and we have catered to them. So that is the power of technology, and the client feels a homely atmosphere with us.
Wonderful.
It's always an inclusive method when you are.
I think the other benefits are that employee feels that they can work from anywhere, isn't
Sure,
that?
sure. There are instances if you want. So I can just highlight. So there were instances where my team were having some personal functions and all in Gujarat or in Kolhapur or Rajasthan, and they said, "Sir, we are going." I was not asked a leave. They said, "Sir, we are leaving. We will be working from that place."
Okay, wonderful.
What else they need? They said, "We will complete our job by evening in the later part of the day. We will enjoy our function also, and we will complete the later our job also."
Right.
So they are definitely they enjoy much about this work from anywhere culture.
Wonderful. Also, I've seen CA Ritesh that most of the time, if I tell you that let's socialize or let's do some new activity, you're always available for any new initiative that is there. So when I dug deeper, I got to know that you've set your business on autopilot mode, where it functions, not only functions on its own, but it also grows in your absence. So how did you achieve that? What was the reason you wanted to do it, and how did you achieve that?
See, if I work in office, it will be always two hands working. Right? Even if I include the hands of my team, it will be limited hands.
Right.
The best part is if I don't work in office,
Right.
that would be the best part. So for this autopilot mode, what I have done is I have only learned delegation. I have delegated every activity which I am supposed to do in office.
By the way, business owners struggle a lot on how to delegate. So if you could elaborate on delegation skills and how did you implement?
See, delegation is very simple. It is only standardizing your systems.
Okay.
Once your systems are set, once everything is online and reporting mechanism is there, I think there is no issues or no worries in the delegation part.
Okay.
So that's where I am as I said, I am also CISA and ISA. So I have set all the systems in place. Right. So I am only a SOS button for the office. I am nowhere in the job role or job framework in the office.
But it's not just about setting processes and systems. I think it's also about training and developing a team to follow the system. One of my friend who is into ISO certification, he says, systems we can develop, but we need people who can actually also follow that systems. So what is it that you've done to train your team? And I've seen your team working really excellently from anywhere. So what did you do to train your team to do that?
Right. So this delegation part, I have actually trained my team also to delegate.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So when I say it's a whole set of hierarchy.
Right.
So my senior person, he knows what to delegate to his hierarchy, lower hierarchy.
Right.
So everywhere delegation is there, even in my team also. And of course the online thing that helps a lot, because every Saturday we have half a day for training part.
Oh.
So training is also an ongoing process in our office then.
Oh. So what are other benefits of setting your business on autopilot, using and infusing technology in your CA profession?
See, infusing technology in the CA profession, so systems, as I said, systems have to be set along with the technological part. So like there is a system of one maker and two checker concept.
Okay, yeah.
Simple. That comes, it is more sort of quality control for the work.
Right.
So one person will make something and 2% will vouch and check the same, and then only it is submitted or filed. Now this simple process is having very minute detailing, like for example, evidential communication.
Right.
So when we say evidential communication, when we say one maker, two checker concept, so everything is documented because a person will send through email for checking, the checkers will raise their queries, or they will conclude and reply via email. So everywhere it is if evidential communication, which helps a lot in our industry because responsibility and accountability, both these factors need to be taken care of. Otherwise, you will lose the quality control part.
Also, a lot of business owners, have a fear of losing control when setting a business on autopilot mode. So, what would you like to say about that?
See, fear of loss of control, I think gone are those days now.
Yeah.
Everything is open, everything is available on net, everyone knows everything. It is, if you fear that there will be loss of control, you cannot run a business without that.
Right.
You will have to delegate, without which it is not possible to sustain in near future then.
Wonderful. So that brings us to the last question with this discussion with CA Ritesh Rathi. A lot of professionals, like, let's say doctors who run hospitals, there are lawyers who run, law companies, there are chartered accountants who are operating companies, large companies, and also there are a lot of professionals who would like to set up their business on autopilot mode and by infusing technology. So what is the message that you have for them?
Well, to reply to this, I would say there are two things. One, of course, the technological part, which is to be infused in every minute detail of your office or your organization. So let it be through CCTV camera till the output-oriented activity in your organization. Just buying a computer or a laptop is not infusing technology. You have to see to it that technology is involved in every small set of your systems. So the machine should be working, not you. You should make the machines work. That's where technology should be involved. Plus, the second part is delegation. You will have to give up the fear of loss of control. Otherwise, you cannot grow ahead. So I think these two factors are, something which everyone has to take care in their personal organization.
With that, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you, CA Ritesh Rathi, for being on our show. And I'm sure this discussion will inspire a lot of professionals to not only set their business on autopilot mode, but also to use technology in various innovative ways to make themselves free from day-to-day business operations. Thank you very much for being on our show.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.